All right, let's get to it. So in the last video, we talked about placement of vowels, and we talked about the head voice and the chest voice. So in these first exercises, all I want you to do is be aware of those things and feel them out. So as we go through the different vowel shapes and as we're working through chest voice and head voice, I just want you to notice. Just notice, am I in chest voice? Am I in head voice? Can you tell, can you feel the difference? Can you feel the difference when you're singing an E vowel that it's kind of falling forward into the face, or when you're singing an A vowel that it wants to fall back? So we're just experimenting and learning about where the natural voice naturally falls. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 octaves of range that we're going to work through, and these notes should work for most voices. If there's a few notes at the bottom or a few notes at the top that don't work for you, just sit those ones out and then pick it back up when we come back to wherever you dropped off. It should only be 1 or 2 notes, but really most voices should be able to, if not at the beginning, eventually you'll be able to do the whole thing. I've had the opportunity over my teaching career to witness every student that I have ever taught expand their range. So I really feel that I am talking from a place of knowledge. I know this to be true. I had one student who, when she came to me, had 6 functional notes in her voice, and that is it. I have never seen anything like it since. But she now has 2.5, 3 octaves of range, and she's working out there as a professional singer. So expanding your range is absolutely something you can do. So you gotta keep the 2 focal points in mind. 1 is joy now. No judgment. Don't be frustrated with where you're at. Just enjoy the process of singing. Enjoy the process of learning. Enjoy the process of exploring and expanding on your skill set. And don't have any expectations other than just to enjoy what you're doing. And over time, you will start to notice that notes that were harder before suddenly start to feel easier. So the 2 things that we want to bring into every single practice and keep at the root of every practice is joy and effortlessness. So when it feels like you're really efforting, then that's where you want to kind of stop, back up the bus, check on the foundation of what you're doing, make sure your breathing is correct, make sure your vowel shaping is correct, make sure your placement is correct, and work from there. So effortlessness and joy, you need to make sure they are there every step along the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the oo vowel. As I mentioned in the last video, oo is the most centered vowel, so it's the best place for us to start. So if you are a man, you're starting down here. And if you're a woman, you're starting here. Ooh. So men are an octave lower. And we're just going to sing a really straightforward warm-up exercise. Ooh. And keep in mind, as you're singing the ooh, you're trying to find that centered space where it's up in the soft palate zone. You're not too far forward, you're not too far back. So it's a nice balanced ooh. You're engaging your diaphragm, supporting the sound. There's an upward lift to the motion, and you're trying to blend your head voice into your chest voice. We will all be in our chest voice down here. So men are here, and women, ooh, ooh. So we've now just done one full octave of that exercise. And what I want you to notice as you're going along is the feeling of whether or not you're in head voice or in chest voice, and how much you're having to support. What you'll notice is the higher you go, the more you naturally need to support the sound to get the notes out. When we turn the exercise around and we start going back the other way, the natural tendency is to just let go of the diaphragm. As soon as the ear hears, it's like a signal gets sent, and we suddenly are like, oh, I don't have to work hard anymore because I'm not singing higher. So when we hear this, we actually want to trick the brain and think up. So if we imagine we're actually hearing this, we will naturally engage the diaphragm. So we don't want the diaphragm to get lazy. We need to sing with this really supported sound, and that only happens if we keep the diaphragm active. So when we hear, I'm going to say, think up, and that's why I want you to imagine the next exercise is higher so that we can engage those muscles. So back to the ooh, nice centered, ooh. Men are down here. Ooh. Think up. Ooh. Think up. Ooh. Think up. Ooh. You're full of joy. Ooh. Feeling effortless, joyful effortlessness. Think up. Think up. Last one. So oo is our most centered vowel. E is the most forward and ah is the most back. So we really want to start off with the oo because that is our root. We want to bring the E back into the oo spot, and we want to bring the ah forward into the oo spot. So I like to try to get my students to find the oo within the ah, or find the oo within the E. So let's try an E shape now, and we'll switch up the exercise just minorly. So instead of singing the first 5 notes of the major scale, we're just going to sing the root, the third, and the fifth, so major chord. And we will sing the E vowel. So sing for me, men here, an oo, and women here, ooh. Now sing E. E, ooh, ooh. Feel the difference. E, ooh, E, ooh, E. Now what you want to do is try to make your oo into an E with the minimal amount of change. So it's an oo vowel that we're singing. Ooh, just use your lips to create a E. So it's an oo in the back and an E in the front. Ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee. It's a very small. We tend to move way bigger than we need to. So oo to E. Ooh, ee, and then sing me your E. So this is your ooey sounding E, and we'll sing E. So that's 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. E. E. So a nice ooey sounding E. E. Rose breath in between. E. Rose breath. E. E. Rose breath. E. 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 we should all be in our head voice by this point. So beautiful ooey sounding E. So let's do the exact same exercise, but now with the ah. So sing me an ah on this note. Amen. Ah, ah. Then sing me an ooh. Ooh, ah, ah. Ooh, ah, ooh. Can you feel that the placement of the sound is kind of falling back when we sing the ah? Ah, ooh, ah, ooh. So we want to start with your ooh. We want to bring the ah up to the ooh. So ooh, ah, ooh, ah. So just the smallest movement to switch the ooh to the ah. So it's a very ooey sounding ah. Ooh. And we'll do the same exercise, 1, 3, 5. Rose breath. Rose breath. Shooting for a clean tone. Joyful, effortless tone. So definitely want to keep the feeling of joyfulness, training that into what you're doing. You can really hear it. I have students that have moved on, become professional singers, amazing singers, awesome careers as singers, but I can hear when they are not coming from a place of joy, and that's something that we really want to train into our singing, because we don't necessarily always feel joyful when we're singing, but if we are training that into the singing, then the joyfulness will emerge. So it's a way of just kind of kickstarting or turning on that light switch to keep the joy there. So we'll talk more in future videos about the ear training within the exercises that we can do, and with the different colors and sounds. I was talking about trying to keep a clear tone. I was also doing some vibrato. Don't worry if you don't understand what that means yet, or if you don't know how to do vibrato. Exercises will come to help you develop those skills in the future. So for now, just stick with, you're trying to build the foundation of knowing when you're in head voice and when you're in chest voice. Really getting past just the mental understanding of what's the difference between an ah vowel, an oo vowel, and e vowel, and actually being able to feel the difference. So it's coming from an experiential knowing, as opposed to, yeah, I learned that because I saw the demonstration or I read it. So much of becoming a singer is about experiencing it and learning through that experience. So I hope that you found this useful, and we can expand more on this in future videos.
That don't do, baby. You better leave it out.